Hi, friends. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy. On this Thursday, Thirsty Thursday, going to the club. Let's get hammered. I'm going to start early with my glass of whiskey. Just kidding, it's tea. Can you see it fog up? Can you guys see that steam? I don't think you can, but I swear that it's there. Welcome back to the show. A lot to talk about today. First and foremost, to my fellow Jews out there, my people, happy Hanukkah. I know that it doesn't technically start until sundown, but I did want to say happy first night of Hanukkah. We've experienced a lot of hate and anti-Semitism in the last 12 months. I mean, we've experienced a lot of hate and anti-Semitism in the last 1,200 years, but just in general, I love being Jewish. I love my fellow Jews. I'm so happy to be able to have this platform and this voice to educate people on what being Jewish is and looks like and what a Jew actually, a lot of people have never met a Jew. So what an actual Jew, here she is in all her Jew glory. So happy Hanukkah. And I hope that you guys are celebrating. I know that it doesn't get as much attention as Christmas because we're such a smaller percentage of the population, but I feel like there's no way that this show would be on Christmas Eve and people wouldn't be sending a lot of love. So send Hanukkah love. Dan Lindelbaum clearly sending the Star of David, which is great, but you guys can send bunnies or whatever it is. Just happy to be here and happy to celebrate with all of you guys. And anybody who doesn't know, it is the next 8 days, the next 8 nights at least. So we'll be celebrating here for a long time. And for anybody who doesn't know anything about Hanukkah, which makes a lot of sense because most people don't, we're going to be doing an entire stream on Wednesday night, so a week from yesterday, over on the World Girls, where we're going to give Hanukkah a whirl. And I'm going to teach Dorina and Steph and all of you guys a little bit about Hanukkah. We're going to light the menorah. I'm thinking we're going to do something like maybe play dreidel. We're going to eat some gelt. We're going to go over what the story of Hanukkah is and take any questions. I might even try to get Grammy involved in some way. So really excited about that. Anyway, we won't harp on it for too long, but happy Hanukkah to my people. And I hope that you guys do everything you can to enjoy the day today. Even if you're by yourself, I'm here with you. And much love to all my fellow Jews. A lot of other things are going on in the world today as well. Jamel Hill asked Jake Paul if knocking out Nate Robinson was racist. I want to talk about this story because it was trending and I want to get your guys' thoughts on it as well. I don't know. I know Jamel Hill pretty well. Not personally. I just mean I've watched her over the years. And I don't know her co-host. I think her name is Carrie Champion, but you guys can correct me if that's wrong because she also asked Jake Paul if knocking out Nate Robinson was racist. We will talk about that. I believe they were making a joke, but we will break that down. Time Magazine announced their 4 finalists for Person of the Year. So I'm excited to get into that as well. A lot of interesting selections. Makes sense because Time does this. So we can break that down. And then last night I watched Soul, which is the new Pixar movie. It's not coming out until Christmas, but I was lucky to get a screener of it, and I want to break that down. It'll be, of course, non-spoiler because I know most of you guys have not seen it. I would say probably none of you guys have seen it, but I wanted to talk about that because I'm a big Pixar fan, and I'm breaking down Soul here live at the Roxy. Also, of course, as always, Brett Hankinson, Miles Cosgrove, Jonathan Mackley arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor, all 3 of them for killing Breonna Taylor. Something we say every single day here on this show. And if you guys have anything you want to say here on this show, then streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer or super chat right in. Actually, I want to start with some of the things going on over here in the Streamlabs. So let's get into this. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Leonard Kim let me know that on accident, he was Streamlabsing in questions for World Girls onto this show last night. So There's some things going on in here, so we will get to those. But first, I guess let's start with after the show yesterday. Nathan Egger wrote in here, I just finished a mental health first aid training and feeling a little emotional. So if it's too much, then whoops, hashtag sorry, not sorry. You have been very helpful through this incredibly difficult time, and just want you to know that you have a greater effect than you likely realize. So thank you for being who you are and what you do. Nathan, I really appreciate that. Thank you. I hope that I have a positive effect on people. All I want to do is make people feel loved and happy. And yeah, that's what I'm all about. Entertaining people as well. But at the end of the day, like, this is just about sending love and support for you guys and feeling that love backwards too. So hopefully that does translate. Because I'm not into the other stuff. I'm not into being mean to each other or to dicking on each other. I'm not into it. So anyway, that's what this channel is about. And I appreciate Nathan for calling that out. Leonard Kim. So all of these questions, I'm so sorry that they didn't go through last night. Let me see. Oh, but you did. Oh, the X-Men one you got in. The land and sea animal. The fine guy's most attractive. Closest place in the snow. Oh, so what did you do? You just did them both places? All right. Yeah, so you got them in both places. Okay, then he said, hey, Roxy, please ignore the previous Streamlabs. I kept submitting questions to the wrong one and feel like an idiot rolling on the floor laughing. No worries, man. I just appreciate you showing support in both places. Again, anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, last night the World Girls went live for World Girl Wednesday, which we do once a month, or Ask Us Anything, and it was a great time. So please join over there. There was some wild stuff that went down, but yeah, in general, it was pretty good. PC in the super chat says, Roxy, what bad ice cream have you had in LA? I love thrifty ice cream and Cool House. Have not tried many fancy ice cream places. I like Cool House a lot, actually, too. I hadn't tried that until this year, and it was very good. And I don't love thrifty ice cream. It's at Rite Aid, right? That's that one. It's just not the same. Like, East Coast ice cream is like creamy fucking ice cream. Cool House is really amazing, but I think that they're in a truck. I've never been able to find it. I only got it at a store near my grandparents. The ice cream here is like, the whole shop's fucking adorable. The energy in there, the flavor of the ice cream, just how creamy and like bad for you it is. So in LA, I feel like everybody's trying to just be so blech all the time. Danny Ramirez in here says, hey, Roxy, hey, friends. I caught the World Girl stream last night and just want to tell everyone that there was there. Thank you. Please send Dorina and stuff my love. I will, Danny. I'm so sorry about what happened to you and your dog, and just rooting for you always and hope that you're okay today. I'm sure that you're not, but I know that you will be at some point. And thanks to everybody who sent love to Danny. I'm sure she feels that as well. Going back into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Ryan White says, even though I am sending this one on the 9th, you'll be reading it on the 10th. So I'll say to you, happy Hanukkah, Roxy. Good luck on Saturday at the Spectacular. Thank you so much, Ryan. Thank you for the luck and well wishes. I'm going to need it. So I appreciate you. Nathan Edgar says, listening to your World Girl stream right now, you talk about men needing to appreciate their partner speaks volumes to me. I love my boyfriend, James Hubbard, with my whole heart. Thank you for advocating for that. That is so cute, Nathan. I'm so happy to hear that. And James is a very lucky man to be with somebody like you who can say that they love somebody with their entire heart. So that's really nice, and I appreciate that. Logan James Siniston says, hey, Roxy, after the whole PayPal fiasco I asked about on Tuesday, I've sent this and my question for the World Girls in dollars, as I want to support you all the best way I can. Just to clarify, I didn't manually cancel any payments to you or the World Girls. Appreciate that, Logan. It wasn't just you. That brought up the conversation about it, but we've been seeing a lot of people cancel payments, and that's shitty. So not you, just in general. And your name rung that to me. But I'm glad for you to explain, and thank you for clarifying. We really appreciate it. Moving forward, getting to Texas teacher. Fran says, hey, Roxy, still clean and sober. Fuck yeah, but very tired. That makes sense. I'm starting to think I don't want to have sex anymore. I love giving oral, not really receiving, and I'm not getting hard. I spoke with my doctor, and I'm physically okay. Tried a blue pill, and was bored during sex. I'm sorry to bring this up, but it made me think about who would want me in a relationship. Would you ever want to be with a man who didn't want to have sex? I can cook though. Any advice? I think my lady friend is tired of not having sex. Texas teacher, so many comments here. Number one, there are people in the world that are asexual who do not like having sex, who never like having sex and don't want to have sex anymore. And if you're one of those, then it's best to find a partner who's also asexual, and they absolutely exist. I personally would not be with somebody who didn't want to have sex because that's not how I am or operate. But you don't want to be with somebody who wants to have sex all the time if you don't want to have sex, because that feels like a pressure-filled situation, and that's no fun for anybody. I would just question, though, do you not want to have sex because you're having difficulty getting hard, and so you're feeling nervous or anxious or embarrassed about it? Or do you not want to have sex because you have no interest anymore in doing it? I think that people go through phases. I think you can let things wash over you. I think you can talk to your lady friend about what's going on. And if this is something that's going on inside you because of your sobriety or because it's a new chapter of life, or you just don't know how you're feeling, talk it out. But at the end of the day, yeah, I believe that asexual people definitely do exist. I know people who are, and typically the best partners for them are people who are also asexual. Hopefully that helps answer the question here. And no matter what it is that you're feeling, just know that it's okay. LD in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Always excited when I have comments coming in from LD, who says, hey, coach, Steph yesterday talked about pH down there. Is there a strip test I can take? What is normal? I'm going on stage again soon, but this morning that got in my head. I had chem class on a class show testing pH on acid, but I don't want to do that down there. Also, please pass on the thanks to the other ladies for their advice last night / this morning. I do think that it was him just putting me down and getting in my head. Romeo isn't looking at those DDs with such lust, but he is looking at my small ones. That's great, LD. I have never heard of a pH test down there. Steph is very into pH levels and figuring that out. That's not something that I like test or do. I don't even know that she can test it. It's more about like what you're putting into your body and things like that. I wouldn't be as concerned about that. That's like very next level. I would do what I said, which is look at, not to say anything wrong about what Steph said, but I would look into what you're eating and your exercise routine and what you're drinking. It's all very important. Things that are toxic for our body make things not taste as good. So like sodas and alcohols can fuck up your balance. And just do a couple Google searches on it and you'll see what she's talking about. But no, I don't think she does any kind of strip test or anything like that. But you could always tweet at her and ask her, and she might be able to respond there. Or I can ask her also and try to get back to you. Hopefully she has some more thoughts on this, because I don't do the same thing she does. I take care of myself in other ways. Spidey Sensei says, hey, coach, any news on a new apartment yet? By the way, sending my calendar order out this Saturday. #Team Roxy Forever. That's awesome. Yeah, everybody can submit their orders until Sunday, so that's perfect timing. No new apartment stuff yet. I'm still in Boston, so I got to get back there. It's just a stressful situation. Stressful time for a lot of us, but definitely a stressful time for your girl Rox, guys. I just need to be surrounding myself with like love and laughter and light during this time, and not people who have crap energy or bogging me down. So I'm so grateful to be here with you guys, where you guys are just so supportive and loving and considerate and freaking awesome, and ask me questions like any update on the apartment and actually give a shit. So obsessed with you guys, and thank you so much for caring about me and my life. Bryce Route 1 says, Roxy, sorry I haven't Streamlabbed in a bit. Just lost, in a bit. My job just shedded hours. I'm so sorry to hear that, Bryce Rat. But Taylor Swift is dropping a surprise album tonight. Isn't it her birthday day? Isn't that why she's doing it? She says it's Folklore's sister album, and that it has the National. My heart. With the National are guesting on her album. That would be fucking sick. Wow, I gotta tune in for this. I've grown to like her a lot more than I thought I ever would. Glenn Caesar in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, hello, Roxy. Love you. Good afternoon. Happy Hanukkah. As always, thanks for making time to hang out with us this afternoon. Peace, love, bunnies, and hugs to you and all of your rock stars. Hopefully it's a fuck yeah news-filled Thursday for us all. Hashtag smash cancer. In some fuck yeah news of my own, my scoliosis lessened and my balance while walking was improved with this moving. That's so great. It even felt like I was walking a little bit faster than normal. That's amazing. So that was great. On a separate note, my Smash a shirt arrived in the mail. That's great. All these things are great, Glenn. As always, I hope that we can all find and feel some joy in each of our days, weeks, months, and our years. Never forget, when it gets tough, even if we're by ourselves, we're not alone. The Rockstars of Wall Friends communities will be there for you. Remember, everyone, you're kind, you're smart, you're important, you're worthy. Also, my CP is better today. Thanks for sharing your tweet last night, briefly reviewing Soul. I was glad to hear what you said. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it. Yeah, we'll talk more about that today, Glenn. Thank you so much for your support in here. You're amazing. For Shake in the house and the Streamlabs just showed some support. Really appreciate that for us. You are a doll face. All of you guys are. I have the best community in the fucking world. Texas teacher in the Streamlabs says, absolutely no interest. Like, I got hard, did my thing, but was very bored, but I loved going down though. If you love going down, it probably makes you not asexual. I don't know, maybe being bored, like maybe you have to try new things or be a little more adventurous, or maybe it does just take a little bit of time, or things might just feel a little different right now. That could just be what's going on at this moment in life. I wouldn't shut the door on anything completely though, because you just never know. Paul 3JP in the streamlabs.com/RoxyStar says, happy Hanukkah, Rocks. All I want for the holidays is an opportunity to prove myself. Let's go. LOL. What is it that you love about Steph so much? Maybe if we have more of an understanding, we can know more how to help. Just tell us, why are you so obsessed with her? Just curious. What is the deal there? Let us know. And shout out to everybody joining us live. Before we get to some of the conversations that I want to have on the show today, shout out to Glenn Caesar, John Bainbridge, Shield Fan, Logan James Kinniston, Pink Sweets, Juan Torres, Andrew Thomas, Noah Denman, Matt Link, Thomas Bartholdi, Rob K, Pink Sweets, Mohammed Belsin, Thunder God Cairo, Faraj Sheikh, Bruce Banner, Starfire XXX, Sandler Cruz, Jake Yacovetta, Matt Link, Larry Viscara. Hopefully I got to most of you guys who are in here right now. Appreciate you all. Steamer, Spidey Sensei, John G, Rob K, Dan Lindenbaum, Patrick Bannum. All of you guys are freaking rock stars for being here. And thank you so much for joining. Mickey Bell, PC. Yeah, you guys all fucking rock. So thanks for being here. All right, let's talk about this bizarro story that I'm a little nervous to talk about. Jamel Hill, and I believe again it's Carrie Champion, asking Jake Paul if knocking out Nate Robinson was racist. Did you guys see this story? Do you know what I'm talking about? Send bunnies if you have heard about this story so far. It made me really uncomfortable. And I'll talk a little bit about why, but I want to see if I can play this video for you. Okay. I'm just going to do the audio and I'm going to try to talk a little bit over it, but, hopefully that helps so I don't get flagged, but if I do, I do. Let's try it. Here we go.
To be honest,
so this is Jamel Hill.
I to protest this show because why? I'll tell you why.
No, wait.
And this is our question of the week.
That's not we're trolling. Oh, okay.
So I'm going to ask Jake Paul right here in front of America.
Here she goes.
Jake, consider where we are right now in our racial conversation in America. Mm-hmm. Was what you did to Nate Robinson racist? That is the question of the week.
So they call it the question of the week, and he looks very uncomfortable.
Stop playing with me.
His internet's not great, but he says, nah, stop playing with me. Come on. And then
we just had to witness a white man just knock a black man smooth out in front of
she says this part.
So that's why I asked that.
And
but just tell us about that.
And then she asks him to explain. And then in a little bit, her co-host goes again. Okay, let's see.
So let's start from the beginning. Okay.
After he already answered.
Foremost, was it racist to knock a black man out? That is the question of the week.
Stop asking me that.
And then he says, stop asking me that.
It's not racist.
It's a shitty question. It's a sport.
Why is it a shitty question? Why is it a shitty question?
Because how does this have anything to do with race? It doesn't.
It's a fine question. We got to wake you up. You got to be a part of this conversation.
Okay.
Right.
So, granted, throughout this entire thing, Jamel and Carrie are laughing the whole time. So they obviously are doing this somewhat lightheartedly and somewhat jokingly. Also, as a side story, I am not any kind of Jake Paul fan. I think he makes really stupid decisions. I believe in the past he has been caught saying the N-word. I don't know whether this man is racist or not. I don't know him. I don't follow any of his work. I don't watch his show. I don't know anything about him. In general, I tend to like Jamel Hill a lot, actually. But I think that this missed the mark a little bit because Jamel Hill is super duper smart and really serious most of the time. She does an incredible job talking about race relations and being like really forward thinking and explaining what's going on. And she just has very serious, smart takes. This was like a weird joke, but then they just kept doubling down. And since then they've doubled down even kind of more, being like, this is why we did it. Why, like, oh, so now you guys take race seriously? That's kind of what the response was. I was a little off-put by this. Again, not standing up for Jake Paul by any means. And by any means, because like, for all I know, he could be a total complete fuck. But I did think this was strange because it is a sport. And even if they are making a joke that I saw a lot of people making with like memes and GIFs on Twitter, this is your job on air to ask real questions. And not only did you ask it once and he said no and seemed uncomfortable, but then you asked it again. And then to literally the point where he said, stop asking me that. It's a sport. And I knocked him out. So it just was, I mean, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen a host do, but it just was like, oh shit, this really missed the mark, I feel like. And then we doubled down and it just wasn't a good look for me. Faraz says, you think they did it for more attention? It was all over the talk radio shows this morning, especially the Breakfast Club. I don't know. That doesn't seem like Jamel's game. So I think they really probably thought it was funny. This is what Carrie, the co-host, said. Y'all, Jamel Hill and I were trolling a troll with permission. This wasn't an interview with weight. It was sarcastic. Y'all need context because if y'all can't hear the laughing, the bad Wi-Fi connection, SMH. So for the outrage, for more context, Thursday at 11:30 p.m. on Vice TV. When she says about the laughing, the only people laughing are the hosts, though. And that's how you know it's not like a great joke. Just was not, it was not for me. And I can appreciate somebody making a joke and missing, especially if that person's a comedian. Jamel is so not a comedian that it just was kind of surprising. Yeah. What do you guys think about it? Let me know. Looking at the comments, super chat in, Streamlabs in, all that great stuff. Also right here in the chat. Let's see what it is you guys have to say. Bruce Banner says, sounds like they're joking to me, and he has said the N-word before. To me, it's not that serious. Okay. Thomas says you can do some damage like that. Andrew says it was a bad joke. Kind of agree with that. Bruce says, read the room. How is it read the room? How is what read the room? Let me know what you mean. Which room? This room? Intelligence Cycle says boxing is a professional sport. It's either you prepare for the fight, adjust to your opponent, or you don't, win or lose. Yeah, I don't think that either of them actually thought it was racist what he did in this situation because he was playing a sport. I just think that they thought that it would be a question that like was a hot, buzzy question. Steamer says it was a weird joke. Yeah, Matt says it's kind of dangerous to put the racist title on anyone these days. No wonder he was uncomfortable. And if he is racist, we should call him out for being racist for things he does that are actually racist, is what I think. Randy says, would it have been racist if it had gone the other way? Bad question. But that's why I think it was a joke. At least I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Daryl says, how are you going to make Jake look like the wronged party, Jamel? I know. Just was not ideal. interesting to watch, though. And I wonder what's going to go down from here, if they're going to try to explain it more, if they're going to double down, if they're going to apologize, what Jake's going to say about the situation. I will keep you guys posted. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, streamlabs.com/Roxy Strider or right here in the super chat as well. Going into the Streamlabs, Leonard Kim says, 99% sure I'm sending this to the right place. You are, Leonard, at least if you want to send it to Live at the Roxy. Do you have a favorite Hanukkah song? Also, you might not relate to anyone who doesn't dream to be on SNL, but might not relate to anyone who doesn't vicariously live through LD, loving the hoops. We all live vicariously through LD. Thank you about the hoops. In terms of a Hanukkah song, I mean, there are like maybe 2 Hanukkah songs. There's the dreidel song, and then there's Adam Sandler's song. So there aren't any other ones. And then there's the prayers. So those ones, I mean, we've got like jack shit. Pretty much got nothing going on. Dwayne says he just didn't want people to Google Jake Paul racist and find the video of him saying the N-word again. So you think that's why this came up? John Bainbridge said, better question, why does Jake want to box everybody, especially people who aren't boxers? No idea. Juan says, I feel it was starting and creating a racial situation and get friction on social media. It's very possible. It's very possible. A lot of people know at this point that that's how you do get news and get more eyes and ears on your show. So, yeah. Bruce says, SMH, I bet if Jake was laughing, y'all wouldn't be saying this was racist. So, Bruce, how do you feel about the situation? I'm definitely not. I mean, when you say y'all wouldn't be saying this was racist, what did I say was racist? I don't think I said any part was racist. I think that was the whole point. But I said that I didn't think any of it was racist. But let me know what you're talking about, Bruce, because would love to hear. Would love to hear. Tasha says, what is this? Laugh my ass off. Are you talking about this show or are you talking about the Jake situation? Because the answer to both is, I don't fucking know. We just hear every single day live at the Roxy. And this time we're here to talk about Time Magazine announcing the 4 finalists for Person of the Year. I guess let's talk about it. Sometimes Time Magazine picks the greatest person of the year, and sometimes they pick people that are the biggest person of the year. And that's kind of up for debate depending on who they end up picking here for their person of the year. They have narrowed it down to 4, and by tonight they will choose who officially is person of the year. Reminder that last year, or actually we'll go through who's won in the last several years soon, but to go over the short list for this year, the first person they announced was Joe Biden. President-elect Joe Biden is up for person of the year, so it could possibly be him. The second person would be Donald Trump. Donald Trump has previously been up for, or was previously selected as person of the year. I think he was person of the year in 2016. So he is up for it. Frontline healthcare workers and Fauci are up for it together. Sometimes they choose groups of people. So the frontline healthcare workers and Dr. Anthony Fauci are up for it as one. And then the Movement for Radical Justice is up for it as well. I believe in a year that it's so much bigger than any one person. I really, really hope that Biden and Trump don't win this. And I really hope that either the frontline healthcare workers and Fauci or the Movement for Radical Justice win this, because it seems like this year is so much larger than Biden and so much larger than Trump. So it would be a shame to me if one of those two win person of the year. And I really feel like it should be one of the other movements. I think that it's really hard to decide between those two things. The frontline healthcare workers and Fauci have done obviously so much for COVID-19. They put their lives on the line every single day. And, when you're deemed health essential workers, you have to do your job. You have no choice. You can't stay home. You just have to do your fucking job. And these people showed up day in and day out. Fauci has dealt with fucking hell during this time as well, and has had to go to bat for something when he had a president who didn't want him to talk about the truth or explain what was going on with COVID. Fauci has very much so potentially saved millions of lives here, and so have the frontline workers. So How do you not give it to them? But at the same time, we had one of the biggest movements that has ever taken place in the history of this country, which would be the BLM movement. So when I look back on this year, I feel like I'm going to hold those two things with equal weight. They're both such defining things of this year. We had everybody who, even despite the risk of the pandemic and this illness, were still in the fucking streets, including myself and a lot of you guys, protesting and supporting and donating and giving all of our love, energy, and attention to something that could not matter more. And whereas COVID will eventually go away, Black Lives Mattering is never going to go away. And the fight for racial equality and justice is something we're going to have to continue fighting for long after this year is over. So I don't know between these two. For me, though, it really does go down between either of those. And I think that once they announce these four as the four, to give it to either Biden or Trump would be such a disservice and wouldn't make any sense to me. What are you guys thinking? Let me know. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Strider right here in the super chat. Froz says, could it not be both groups? They kind of go hand in hand. Well, they announced them separately, so I don't think it will be. John says, our healthcare workers. Deflated Brady says, I agree. Both of Thales groups deserve that. What's Thales? Win over Trump or Biden. Oh, those groups. He meant our frontline line people should win, says Real YouTube. John says, I hope Fauci and frontline workers win Person of the Year, and absolutely Trump should not win. Varun says, agree. Both groups should be awarded with this. Yeah. Noah says, yeah, as a former medic whose best friend is an ER doc, I'm all for frontline workers. Pink Sweet says, agreed. Rob K says, frontline workers should be Person of the Year. Matt Link says, frontline workers. Wow, a lot of you guys going with frontline workers. So interesting. Essential workers and not just healthcare people. Melissa, great point there. Morse code says they don't always pick for positive reasons, do they? It's more about influence. That said, I agree, the groups over the individuals. Yeah, it is more about influence. It's not just positive. They pick the person that, like I said, often is the biggest, or the movement that is the biggest of the year. Saul says Jamel Hill should be nominated for that 5-star troll job. Related, a bad joke is still in fact a joke, and all mannered to attempt to take one seriously. Yeah, also I'm probably biased. I don't get really what you're saying, Saul, but I do agree that it was a joke, absolutely. Which is why when I asked Bruce, like, no part of me said what she was saying was racist. And if that's what you heard, I'm not exactly sure how you heard that, but I definitely didn't say that. I just think it was a shitty joke. I thought it was an ill-timed, not great joke. And as I started the segment with, I really am a fan of hers and like her a lot, and really am not a fan of Jake's, but I still think it was a not great joke. It's a no-brainer, frontline workers, says Rick. Wow, a lot of you guys. Interesting. Healthcare employee is feeling the love. I think they're both equally valid picks, to be honest. I really do. I don't think that one of them makes more sense than the other. I do think both of them have had an equal impact on this year and this country and the world. It will be fascinating to see who they pick, and we'll know tonight. So let me know in the comments, if you're not watching this live, who do you think of those four that they should pick? It doesn't seem like anybody in here really is thinking Trump or Biden, which is interesting. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Glenn Caesar in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Strider says, Roxy, Aaron Desner of The National and Jack Arnoff of Bleachers both helped Taylor Swift write and produce her most recent album, Folklore. Oh, they talked about it in the Disney Plus documentary about recording the album in separate locations in quarantine. I also love Bleachers. So, well, that's great. I don't think I knew that. That's awesome. Thank you for letting me know, Glenn Caesar. You guys are always keeping me informed, and I really appreciate it. You guys are the freaking best. All right, moving forward, because we don't have much time here, and I'd like to get out of here before SCN goes up, because I ain't trying to compete with them. Let's talk a little bit about Pixar's Soul. So last night I watched Soul. Thank you to Disney for sending me a screener, just so you guys know how this works, because I get accused of this all the time. Just because Disney sent me a screener does not mean I need to say anything positive about this movie. I can say whatever the fuck I want about it. I can even say fuck when talking about it, because Disney does not pay me. I am not a Disney shill. I am just here to talk about a movie as a non-critic, because I don't consider myself a critic, as somebody who gets to view these movies in advance. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the movie Soul, which I watched last night. So Soul is Pixar's latest animated movie, as all of Pixar's movies are animated, that was supposed to drop in theaters, but instead is going to be dropping on Disney Plus in December. I believe it is on Christmas. It is a movie starring Jamie Foxx and Tina Fey, who are the voices of the two main characters. And it is a movie that is about having a dream and trying to figure out the meaning of life, the purpose of life, what it is that we are on this planet for. So in a very Pixar way, it's got this big abstract idea around it, and it's got these beautiful images and incredible voice actors to tell this story. On IMDb, it says that the plot of this movie is a musician who's lost his passion for music, is transported out of his body, and must find his way back with the help of an infant soul learning about herself. That is absolutely not the plot of the movie. I don't know how that's in there as the plot. It's not a musician who's lost his passion for music in any way, shape, or form. So I'm a little confused about whether that was initially supposed to be the plot of the movie or what exactly happened there, because this man is as passionate as it gets about music. But when we talk about transported out of his body, that's the element of soul, right? And then the infant soul learning about herself, of course, being Tina Fey. So, and her name in the movie is 22, which you can see if you look on IMDb. Two of them have a great dynamic in this film, great chemistry back and forth. They work really well together. It's witty, it's clever, it's absolutely stunning. Pete Docter is somebody that we trust all the time with these films. He is the one who did Up and Inside Out and Monsters, Inc. and WALL-E. He has such a track record of creating some of the best movies that Pixar has to offer. And do I believe this is in the top 3 for me? I do not, but do I think that this is definitely one of Pixar's stronger movies? It is. It's like that second tier under my absolute favorites, which are the movies that I just said, frankly. It's right underneath that. It's got a lot of passion. It didn't make me cry, not once, which typically I am a crier during these movies, but there were a couple moments in which I could see somebody tear up. And I think that it will be very relatable for a lot of people who have a dream or have questioned, why the fuck are we here? What are we supposed to do in life? And yeah, a lot of it was ballsy. It was a major, major undertaking. And in general, I just thought that they really did a great job. I think you guys are going to love this one. And I definitely think it's a great movie to watch on Christmas. It's got those feels going on. Do I wish, of course, that it went to movie theaters? Like I wish that everything is going to movie theaters. Yes. I don't know that this is the first Pixar movie that centers around a Black man, but if it is, that's even more of a bummer that it's not going into theaters and that it's going to be straight watching it in your own homes. I wish that for people that they could go and see this on the big screen, especially with the visuals and imagery that we got. But I did have a great time, and I just watched this on my laptop. So it was really, really wonderful. Looking at what you guys are talking in here. Let's see. Varun says, my favorite Pixar movies so far, Coco, Inside Out, and Onward. I still haven't seen Onward. Isn't that funny that I didn't end up checking that out? But I do think I will watch that and let you guys know how I feel about it. But yeah, this movie is super duper worth your time. It's a really good one. And yes, I think that you guys will enjoy it. And I can't wait for you guys to actually watch it. And I think it's a great holiday film, and it's obviously family friendly as Pixar. So yes to all of this. Yes. All right, let me take any final Streamlabs and super chats, and then let me get out of here so you guys can transfer over. Popcorn in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Strider says, Roxy, have you seen Steve McQueen's Small Axe movies on Amazon? The John Boyega one is so good. No, I haven't. Also, I was sorry to see what they did to the Anne Frank Memorial in Idaho. This year has been disgusting and disheartening. Hope you're okay. So, like I said to start the show, this has been a year full of anti-Semitism. It's disgusting. And when I saw the Anne Frank Memorial, which was vandalized, in case you guys didn't see, with a ton of swastikas, or with I saw like one main swastika on it and whatnot. It's fucking disgusting. And you guys saw Nazis come and invade my stream the other day, and we are in 2020, and it's disheartening, it's gross, it's upsetting, it's all those things, and it's Hanukkah. So there's nothing more to really say about it than that. My people have been hated for years and years, and it doesn't seem like it's coming to a slow anytime soon. So we're just going to have to continue to spread love and show people what it looks like to be Jewish, which is just like, I'm just a fucking normal person who just is here. Yeah, but I did see it, and it was fucking horrifying. Thank you for bringing it up on the show, though, because I didn't know whether or not to talk about it today, because it is Hanukkah, and I'm glad that you mentioned it, because I do think it's worth sharing, because people think that anti-Semitism is dead, and it is so clearly not. Paul3JP in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy says, obsessed isn't the first word I would use, but I hear you, LOL. Obviously, she's a baddie, but I also just think she's dope, and we would hit it off. I want to get to know that girl. I tend to go for things in life, doesn't always work out, but it's gotten me this far. So, Apollo, I don't know that those are reasons to like somebody. Like, I feel like you'd have better luck if you were like specific about what it is you liked about her. Like, tons of people are baddies and tons of people are dope. It just seems very vague, like you have a crush on a girl on the internet. Just being honest with you completely. So just let me know. Let me know how it is that you take that. And yeah. All right, we are getting out of here. Much love to you guys. Really appreciate you for being here. Please give that thumbs up. Leave a comment after the fact. It really helps. You guys are incredible support. Happy Hanukkah. Please take care of yourselves. Put the toilet seat and the lid down. Make sure that you make your beds. Wish your friends that are Jewish Happy Hanukkah. If you would wish friends Happy Merry Christmas, then you should wish your Jewish friends Happy Hanukkah. I never get texts on Hanukkah. I always think that's truly bizarro. Yeah, all that great stuff. Much love to you guys, and I will see you tomorrow live at the Roxy, probably around the same time. See you then.